Okay, as part of this here, to take the engine out, I gotta move the lock carrier, which is this thing here. I've actually done this before in order to do the timing on this car. So I'm disconnecting everything, and it looks like I've got the wires disconnected from here, except for that one. I need to disconnect the headlights. There's one connector here and another connector over there. There's probably other ones, but that's going to be the next thing. We'll just disconnect those and leave them hanging. All right, got those off. One's just there. The other I connected. I just kind of tucked back over here. So that's for the lights. I noticed that there's a wire down here that's somehow connected to something. Don't know what. I think I'll figure that out a little bit more when I pull this off. But next step is going to be, let's take this bumper off. A couple of bolts there and there, and then that thing comes off. That allows us to put the car in the service position, which I actually have pieces to do. Anyway, bumper bolt 1, 2, and removed. So as part of removing this thing, I think I'm going to remove these shroud things on the side, these little air dam things. I'm not exactly sure how they come off. Now that's the temperature sensor for the inside, for the outside temperature. And that thing has been broken for years, and I've kind of zip tied it together so that it stays together. I think getting a piece, this is bonded to the pipes, so it's broken under here, so it doesn't want to stay attached. This works pretty well, but in order to get these shrouds off, I think this pipe needs to move to the side. Now that's a real pain in the neck because I've got it attached over here as well. I don't want that thing flopping around, because it will. I guess I can always tie it up out of the way, but I guess cut those off, let it flop, get these things here off, and that should free up. This is the air conditioning condenser, and that's going to need to get hinged out of the way for when the lock carrier comes out. I can't see exactly how these shrouds go on. They seem kind of floppy. There's a screw right here, and I don't know if that's the only one on the driver's side, but we'll take it out and see if that'll let it come loose. Okay, it will. That screw came out. Not the most convincing of screws. Probably ought to replace that. But it's definitely stuck behind these, so these things are going to need to be clipped off. I don't want to break something. These zip ties that I put on are going to need to be clipped off. There it goes. Clipped off the zip ties and the whole thing came off. And there's the shroud. And there's the remnants of that broken piece that's supposed to go right to there. I don't see any way of replacing just that plastic bit. It's the same thing on the other side. There's the screw, similarly rusty. It looks like it'll come out, and it looks like that one will come off fairly easily. It looks like that's the only thing holding it on. Yep, that's all there was to it. Now, actually, I found that as I was doing it. So that's coming from behind there, and in order for this lock carrier to come off, that's going to need to be disconnected, fed back through there. So when you put this back together, don't forget to put that sensor. It's some kind of electrical sensor for the air conditioning. Not sure what it does, but anyway, that's going to need to come off. And actually, looking at this thing, the horns, these are for the horns. Those are going to need to come off. Shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. Famous last words. Okay, labeled those connectors. Upper horn goes to the top one, lower horn goes to the bottom. We'll disconnect those, and then they come up from over here, and we'll just feed them back up that way so that they're out of the way when the lock carrier comes off. So they're going to go up there. Okay, so the way that you take these kind of clips off they kind of go underneath and they go around these pins. You need to pull the two sides out and it'll slide down. Unclipped the AC sensor, which is that, and it goes through that hole right there. So that AC sensor that I just unclipped, it goes through that hole there, and in the back, it goes right there to that little round thing, and then it goes across. I don't know exactly where that's going because I can't really see very well. So it goes there, and then it disappears down underneath the fan. It may be that I don't need to remove it, but we're going to leave it there for now until I get a little bit more indication of what happens when I pull on the lock carrier.